Thank you. The next question, the member for Davenport.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and this question is for the Premier. Mr. Speaker, all of us, I'm sure, in this room have been inundated with emails from desperate parents all over Ontario worried that the government isn't doing their job to prepare for the safe reopening of schools. Jennifer, a parent of 3 in the Ottawa region, said she is concerned about the effects that part-time school combined with online learning will have on our children's mental health. Jill, a mom of 2, wants to know what parents are supposed to do on the days their children are not in school. Send them to a pub. Stuart, from my riding, wrote, with this hybrid model, working parents, but working mothers and many frontline and essential workers in particular, are being asked to do the impossible, choose between their children and their livelihood. Mr. Speaker, many of these letters are copied to the Premier. Why isn't he listening?
Minister of Education to reply.
Thank you, Speaker. I appreciate that many moms and dads in the province of Ontario have faced great challenges, economic, as well as the mental health and safety of their own children and, of course, themselves. And it is the obligation of the government, working closely with the Chief Medical Officer of Health, to build out a protocol that keeps every child and staff member safe in Ontario. And the government's preference, I will reaffirm, is to get kids into class on a daily conventional model, day-to-day with heightened safety protocols. But, Speaker, our commitment first and foremost, before today committing to that, absent that data, is to make sure that we are prepared for every circumstance that may arise in September, because in the absence of knowing with absolute clarity the risk associated in 30 and 60 and 90 days, we're going to be prepared. That is the prudent way forward. It's why most provinces in this federation are proceeding on that basis. The commitment remains to keep kids safe. That's exactly what we're going to do, Speaker.
The supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, Ontarians did the right thing. They stayed home, and their actions have bought us precious time. But the Premier and this government are wasting that time now. They are leaving parents in the dark about their children's education while they're watching daily announcements about the opening of golf clubs and bars and casinos. We have just 6 weeks to go. 6 weeks to go. The clock is ticking, and there is a way forward. I'd ask the members opposite,
Government
please.
side, come to order.
I have tabled a motion that calls on the government to hire...
Clock. No. The member for Mississauga East Cooksville will come to order. The member for Northumberland Peterborough South will come to order. There are a number of members over here that were yelling as well. I could call you out by name too. Next time I will. There's a state of emergency in the province of Ontario. That's why we're here in July. Restart the clock. Member for Davenport.
I was going to say, and I hope they're listening now, that I have tabled a motion that calls on the government to hire more teachers for smaller classes, more custodians to do the cleaning and maintenance that are essential for infection control, and investments in upgrades to make buildings safer. Will the Premier finally get the message from parents across this province, pass our motion today, and do what's needed to ensure a safe return to school for all our students this September?
Minister of Education.
Mr. Speaker, we believe, Progressive Conservatives believe, that it's not an either-or proposition. We can have a growing economy while concurrently having quality education in the province of Ontario. I respectfully reject the premise by the member opposite. Speaker, our plan is, yes, to grow the economy, create jobs, put people back to work, instill a sense of confidence in the market. But, Speaker, it's concurrently about ensuring that students remain learning under any scenario that may manifest. The Leader of the Opposition just asked a question earlier about the inevitability of a second wave. We must be prepared. Of course, Speaker, it is no one in this side of the House that wants an online option in lieu of in-class conventional learning. But, Speaker, is that not a lesson learned for all of us as legislators, that we have an obligation to ensure that kids remain learning irrespective of the challenge that arises? We're going to work very closely with the Chief Medical Officer, put the resources, the training in place to keep every child safe in Ontario, Speaker.
Thank you. The next